Hello, friends. Look, I was supposed to review this Ready or Not game, but between you and me, I'm hungover something fierce right now. So instead, I'm gonna leave you in the capable hands of this here videotape. Have fun, kiddos. Good afternoon, class. I see the childhood bullying crisis has seen fit to grace us with some more candidates. Over the course of this instructional tape, I'll be whipping you bootlickers into certified door kickers, with the help of this state-of-the-art, highly realistic simulation. I prefer good old-fashioned on-the-job training, but HR says we've had too many incidents. In this tape, we'll be going over several highly intense, highly dangerous situations, and the weapons, equipment, and tactics that'll keep you, and maybe even a few civilians, alive. If you think you've got what it takes, let's see if you're... Oh shit!
Ah, an acorn.
Before we can get to the real police work, we need to actually enter the building. And standing in your way is one of these bad boys. Just a simple, everyday door. Not so simple, now is it? The door represents humanity's greatest fear, the unknown. Anything could be lurking behind this inch or so of low-quality wood. There could be nothing. There could be an active shooter. And there could be a child with a pinwheel hat and a lollipop. And a gun. Like Schrodinger's cat, none of these are true, yet all of them are true, until you actually engage the door. Fortunately, I've opened up a door or two in my bag, so I've got some tips. Any schmuck can simply open a door, and that's exactly what the criminal mind is prepared for you to do. If you want to tackle doors like an operator, you'll have to add some pizzazz. The simplest thing you can do to decrease your odds of becoming a nice Swiss cheese is to apply a surprise in a can by expertly bouncing it off the door frame and into the room. Now we're talking. But as the enlightened among you know, sometimes doors have these things called locks. Locks can of course be picked, allowing you to open the door manually and maintain the element of surprise. But what are we here, meter maids? Picking a lock is playing by the lock's rules, and that simply will not do. Let the doors be your canvas. Reaching shotguns and battering rams? Your brushes. They're fast, they're loud, and they'll blow that shitty little lock right out of the door. You'll be able to sense the suspects in the room from the shit in their pants. Now, you do of course lose the element of surprise and will probably get lit up right after, but brother, you'll go down hard enough to cut diamond. The main problem with these two tools of terror is that you have to put away your guns to use them, and no red-blooded American should ever have to suffer that fate. Thankfully, the good Lord has seen it fit to provide a solution. Two of them, in fact. Your organic battering rams can be applied to any door on the map for a fast-paced party-crashing door bashing without lowering your guard. Freedom is knocking, and answering is non-negotiable. Now the options I've said are good, but there can only really be one great. C2. Just looking at it brings a tear to my eye. It blows the door straight off its hinges along with any schmuck standing on the other side of it. And you don't even have to be anywhere near the door to do it. Now that's enough about doors. What do we actually do once we're inside? Class, I have some bad news to tell you. You can't actually just rush in and kill the first person you see. Alright, I know. Settle down, settle down. So, Command says that too many dead civilians weaken to public trust in the police. So now, there's rules to killing. You can't shoot at people just for holding guns or being near them. Can't shoot until shot at. Can't shoot at enemies once they surrender. And under no circumstance can you shoot civilians, even if they're rude to you. Honestly, why even be a cop at this point? What are they gonna do next? Give us guns that can't kill people?
Oh god! They're dog shit!
I'll tell you what the problem is. It's woke. Once you encounter a shooter, you have to give them the option to surrender. You can't just hang out across the map with a rifle and go, "Drop your weapon!" If they do surrender, you cuff them, secure their weapon, and then call it in. If they don't, you still do all of that, but to their remains.
Got him.
Holy shit. You gotta make sure to cuff suspects regardless of whether or not they have a pulse. Necromancy is rare, but not unheard of. You'll also peacefully detain civilians just to be safe, but make sure you treat them with the utmost respect. As you move through the area, you'll detain everyone you come across and gather evidence. For the best score, you'll have to find every bit of evidence, detain everyone on site without any ROE violations, and do it all quickly. High scores equal high drip. If you want to call your entire lobby a bunch of brokies, you're gonna have to earn it. But if you don't care about any of that, I got a secret for you. It turns out that even with a really low score, you can still move on to the next level. It seems the rules of engagement have a loophole. They're about killing people. I'm just talking about killing suspects.
No gods! No masters! Nobody cares!
Now, when you originally start the game, you may be tempted to take things very slowly, which is perfectly fine. But once you get comfortable enough to take the training wheels off, you can see what this bad boy can really do. This shit is wild. The guns in this game are extremely satisfying. The sound, the recoil, and the effects work together really well to make the shooting feel more realistic. Vice versa, getting shot at is equally well done, to the point where if you don't know where the shooter is, it's genuinely panic-inducing. And if you really want to test that realism out, why don't you put your uncle who went to Fallujah on the computer, and see if you can bring back any cherished memories. The AI is unique, but it's certainly not boring. Suspects aren't just standing around waiting to be shot. They'll move around and come after you. Besides enemy AI, you also run your own squad of operators. These guys are also extremely competent. You can order them to do pretty much everything. Stack up on and breach doors, secure suspects and evidence, and even hold their own in gunfights. Their AI is so advanced that if you botch a mission badly enough, they need therapy for the PTSD. Or, if it's really bad, they'll just outright retire on you. I guess some people just can't hack it in this line of work. You know, it used to be the only kind of therapy you needed was you and the boys would go down to the basement and beat the shit out of the masochist you had locked up there. Once you really start to develop a playstyle, there's a good variety of weapons you can choose from, and a lot of different equipment to experiment with. You can equip night vision goggles, even though there's only one really dark map in the entire game. But trust me, you really are going to want night vision for that one. The mirror gun has the most utility. You know, if you're the type of nerd who likes to spoil a surprise. Me personally, I'm a big fan of the riot shield. You're pretty much invincible, except they can shoot out the glass and blind you. But a true SWAT commando can just sense where he's supposed to shoot. If you don't trust ones and zeros to have your back in the thick of it, then why not recruit one of your fellow troglodytes to watch your six instead? Just convince them to fork over the low price of $50. Difficult in this economy, but definitely worth it. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Why don't you see for yourself?
Talk reporting. Great work, entry team. Keep it up.
Oh.
Putting down a
That would have been bad.
There's a guy that walked behind the counter and I told him to drop and then he, what the fuck?
by.
I didn't realize till I already shot him. He's not supposed to be in the fucking room. What the fuck?
That ain't going nowhere. That is a new. That's
Now we're talking. Some of our finer work.
Now, if you paid close attention, this instructional tape should have prepared you for the frankly horrific and unsettling world of SWAT. But don't let all that training and protocol distract you from rule number 1. Have fun. Until next time, friend.